Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. Well, it's the day after we are back-to-back Premier League titles, and Amir,
can you say that again? What are we?
We're back-to-back champions. So Amir, with Ray, and what we're going to do is we're just going to do a quick video, and we're going to talk over what we remember of the game yesterday. We'll talk about the lineup. We'll talk about the goals. We'll talk about the atmosphere around the Etihad, because both me and Ray were at the Etihad yesterday for the celebrations. And then what we're going to do at the end is we'll give a player rating for yesterday's game. So start off then. Let's start off with arriving at the Etihad.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of, we're not going to go too deep into it, there was a little bit of sort of contentiousness with regards to the setup and the organisation and things. What were your thoughts on that yesterday?
Well, briefly,
good to see it was free parking, which was one thing.
For a change. No, we covered some of this yesterday in the live vlog at the ground. But I mean, look, most people that I've seen on social media have commended City for what they did to put this on. In all intents and purposes, it was free. You could argue, because your ticket, you got the money back off food and drink purchases. So the club was stumping up some money, with the security and everything else. But I mean, a few of the negative points where the security were some of them were heavy-handed, a bit over the top, a bit rude. Yes, we understand they might not like their job and they're not happy to be there, whatever. But we're the end customer, and they should at least be polite to us. It was a bit of a palaver that the barriers were supposed to be moved at 1:30 at the end of Joe Mercer Way, when we were right near the ground. And I felt if it was possible, it should have been done earlier. I think you said as well, it shouldn't have been 1:30, because by the time the kickoff started, the last few people were still coming in. So people had been coming in for almost an hour and a half. They could have got us in, let's say, an hour earlier. We'd have spent more money.
Yeah,
I don't know what the reasons were. And personally, I think, like you said, we had a 3-tier security system. So when you get to the end of Joe Mercer Way, you have to, you get searched. Let's say you have that security. You have to show your ticket, and then you get a wristband. Wristband was to entitle you to your free food and drink. And I think that could have been done at the beginning of Joe Mercer Way. Some of that could have been done at, say, for argument's sake, 12:30. Okay, and so from 12:30 you can queue, but you can't, for whatever reason, you can't get right to City Square, but you can queue there. So as soon as the gates open, all these people have been pre-screened, they can just go straight in. Whereas what happened to us, all right, you can blame us as well. We weren't sure that it was starting at 1:30. So we were there before 12:30, I think, queuing up. So we queued up for over an hour. Gates, and we queued over an hour before they moved the gates and before we could get searched and check the ticket. It was a little bit.
I can see from a security point of view looking at Joe Mercer Way, because you've got the access from the canal halfway across. So, but that could have been blocked off, or diverted people down to the end of the queue and things like that. It just felt like, there were hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of people queuing there for well over an hour.
Toilets.
It was a hot day. There was no toilets. There were a lot of people complaining, saying they needed to go to the toilet and they couldn't get. Once they were in the queue, they couldn't get out.
Toilets weren't great. I'll say this as well. I went to the toilet. No toilet paper. No soap in any of the. And it's. There were issues. People didn't know what the armbands were for at this. No one was telling you.
No.
They weren't telling you what they were for. No. And it was only later. And then someone came back when they found out that theirs wouldn't work, because they had this little extra strip on that they'd pulled off and thrown away, because they thought it was, something that wasn't needed. And that was actually what got you £4 off. So they had to come back. One guy I'd got a ticket for, they didn't even ask him for a ticket. Towards the end, they were apparently letting some people in without tickets, because this guy, I was looking for him and waiting for him and calling him. I said, I can't see you. And they'd already let him in without a ticket. So, you could actually go down the side and just walk in without a ticket, walk in and out. People, they weren't checking bags. So I don't know. I mean, I don't want it to be coming across all negative, but it's an important thing, security these days. You know, and we should take it seriously. I mean, you work in that kind of industry where it's of paramount importance.
Absolutely,
it's critical.
It is certainly when you've got 8,000 people congregated into a small area. You know, it does leave you vulnerable at certain aspects of it. But anyway, we got in. The queues for everything was just I went in to get us a drink and something to eat from Somerby's bar. Yeah, I queued up for about, 10, 15 minutes, never even moved. So I came back out of there, went across to where we were at the Blue Moon Cafe, queued up for another half an hour. We just got some food and drink literally a minute before kickoff. So, but the atmosphere was building. Everybody was in good spirits, and fair play to City. They were giving out free flags and free blow-up bananas and all.
Some of those bananas are very hard to blow up. I've got a lot of puff with my lung capacity, but some people just could not blow those bananas up. So some of them were easy, some of them were impossible.
Well, I mean, it was a nice touch by City.
Nice
so some of the negative side was offset with some of the great stuff that was there. So there was lots of music, lots of events, lots of everything going on. We had the team that was announced, and the team was Ederson, Walker, Company, Laporte, Zinchenko at left back, and then Gundogan holding instead of Fernandinho. Ahead of him, Bernardo Silver and David Silva. Mahrez started the game on the left, with Sterling on the right, with Aguero up front. What were your thoughts when the team news was announced? Because obviously we did it live. We did a live vlog from the team announcement. On the bench, we had Danilo, Stones, De Bruyne, Leroy Sané, Otamendi, Gabi Jesus, and Muric. And obviously Foden wasn't included in the squad. So what were your thoughts on starting 11?
Well, obviously most people were, let's say, surprised. Some were shocked that Mahrez was included because he's really not been a part of the league team this side of Christmas, to be quite honest. So that was a surprise. I think most of the rest of the team was as expected. We felt, obviously, we knew Fernandinho wasn't going to be available. We felt that if Kevin De Bruyne was fit enough, he should start. Obviously, he wasn't fit enough. And quite thankfully, we didn't need him. And he can be saved for the FA Cup final, hopefully. And a lot of people thought Sané would start, or if not Sané, Gabi Jesus. I thought he deserved. Personally, I thought if Pep's not going to go with Sané, then go with Gabi. But he went with Mahrez. He had his reasons for it. He wanted to do something a little bit different. And there's not wrong with that. There's not wrong with surprising your opponent by doing something different and to see what would happen. But sadly, the experiment of Mahrez on the left didn't seem to work.
It's interesting from my perspective. I did not expect him to start. Not the last game of the season. But it does show you the trust that Pep's got in Mahrez. So when people say we should sell Mahrez in the summer and Mahrez is going to be gone, and and he starts him in the last game, the most important game of the season so far in the Premier League. That shows you the trust that Pep's got in Mahrez. And you're right. The first 20 minutes or so, it was very nervous around the stadium. We started off like we did against Burnley. Against Leicester, we were sloppy in the possession. With passing was awful. Up front, Sterling and Mahrez just didn't seem to get in the game. They were hitting the first players, and everyone's thinking, "Oh, here we go again. Here we go again." And then on 27, whatever time it was, 20 minutes, on the screens, obviously around the Etihad, there were tons and tons of screens showing the live stream from Sky Sports. And the news came through that Mane had scored at Anfield, and everyone was sort of like, so it's not really changing much, it's 0-0. But then about 7 minutes later, they get a corner, and Glenn Murray, near post, unchallenged, Ederson comes flapping at it, misses it, and it's 1-0 Brighton. What was it like around the stadium?
Oh, deathly silence, hush. I think it was a cheap corner to give away. I think we were being sloppy when we give that corner away. We give a free kick away first, and from that they got the corner. But I thought it was very sloppy play. Lackadaisical is the word we've been using for a few months, where we have appeared that way. It may be that we're just knackered. Our players have played nearly 60 games this season. Mentally and physically, they're fatigued. and they'll deserve and earn their rest after the FA Cup final. So, yeah, I mean, Glenn Murray, he scored over 1/3 of Brighton's goals, I think, in the league this season. So he's a threat. He's a threat in the air because they were lumping it long to him. He was heading it, controlling it with his chest, holding it up, and he did a decent job. He's 35 years old, but he's still doing a decent job. So you'd expect to have someone like Vincent Kompany or Laporte on their most potent threat.
Not Zinchenko.
He's a little bit, I wouldn't say weak, but he's a bit slight and not tall enough, I think, for that role of out-muscling Glenn Murray.
Their main threat from a corner or set piece, you're looking at the likes of Duncan and Murray. And we've got Zinchenko marking Murray. It's like, what is going on here?
There's no thought going in there. We don't have anybody on the post. Edison came, obviously, it was the wrong side of the player. You're not going to win the ball if the player's going to head it in before you. And no one challenged. It was a very, very poor goal to concede. But that seemed to spark us into life. And it was a kick we needed. And probably, actually, a lot of people are saying afterwards, it's what we did need, because if we carried on 0-0 for ages, playing crap, basically, it would have got more and more nervous. So, we had that injection of, not want to say panic, of urgency.
Yeah. Well, it certainly picked up immediately after that. And the ball was, you can just tell instantly the ball was being moved quicker.
Yeah.
And it wasn't holding on to the ball, trying to play these little dink balls that kept getting cut out like we were in the first 20 minutes. Within 38 seconds or so, a nice pass from Laporte, a lovely little back flick from David Silver into, our main man, Sergio. And he was never any doubt he was going to bury it and between the legs of the keeper. So 1-1. What was it like?
Well, hardly had Sky apparently stopped showing the replays of their goal. We scored. And I think we needed to score very quickly. We did. The stadium erupted, as you expected. The city square, everything, erupted. A lot of noise, a lot of relieved City fans when that goal went in. We had people. I laugh on Twitter when people are asking us why we didn't film, why we weren't showing the. Yeah, it's like, guys, we're enjoying it first. We're enjoying the moment, and then a few seconds after, then we'll do a little bit of filming. We just can't stand there filming the game,
Plus obviously we're doing live vlogs and there's copyright issues and things. We said on all the vlogs we can't film this live. We can't show you the screens because we'll have our videos taken down if we do. So everyone, I think, some people just think we stand there just like that, filming a TV screen and not really getting involved in the atmosphere and everything else that goes with it. We're first and foremost, we're fans.
Trust me, we get involved.
Yeah, absolutely. But from then on, I think that just settled the nerves. If there were nerves there, it settled everything. We started moving the ball quickly at pace. There was less and less sloppy passes coming out. And then we got, I think Mahrez came in from the right-hand side, had a shot with his right foot. Keeper saved it. Went out for a corner.
I think we were saying. We were saying at the time because we thought he should have done better.
We thought he should have squared it.
Yeah. You said, maybe I was playing devil's advocate or just rattling your cage because I said he's going to do it. Come on, he's going to, and the boy come up good.
Yeah, great corner. Crap marking, if you're honest. As poor as we were marking Glenn Murray. Murray left, Laporte just completely isolated. Brilliant jump, no chance. As soon as he climbed, I already had screamed goal because as soon as I saw him rise, I just went yes, because I just knew there was no way anyone was going to touch him, and it was going in the net. And wonderful, bullet header into the ground. 2-1. Everyone goes absolutely mental.
That was a proper mental one. The first one was more relief. that we got back on level terms so quickly. That second goal was proper mental.
Yeah.
And City fans, if guys and gals had watched our live vlogs and the stuff we put out on Twitter that we could put out on Twitter, the fans celebrating, and it was once again an outpouring of relief and emotion and joy and ecstasy and everything else, because we were ahead and it only looked like it was going to go one way from then on.
Yeah, I mean, that was it. And then it was pretty, for the final sort of 8-9 minutes or so of the first half, it was pretty dominant. We were all over Brighton. We were trying to, will the team on to get a third before halftime, just to make certain, because even at 2-1, we still wanted that third. We got into sort of the second half, and we just sort of picked it up where we left off, and it was just such a dominant display that you just kept thinking a goal has got to come, because we're on top so much. And then the third goal on 63 minutes, nice little sort of interchange. I think it was Mahrez with, I don't know whether it was Bernardo or somebody, but it went out to David Silva. David Silva laid a first-time ball off to Mahrez. He cuts in like he has done literally all season, and 9 times out of 10, it's 10 yards over the bar or 10 yards wide, and everyone's just thinking, oh. And then what he does, dummies the defender who slides in, comes onto his right foot, and it's an absolutely incredible shot that the keeper got a hand to but couldn't stop.
Yeah. So what you're saying, he's got a right foot after all?
He clearly has got a right foot.
Apparently he's been practicing on his right foot. Maybe that's it. He's practiced for the last couple of months on his right foot. And so Pep's chucked him in for the last game of the season because no one expects him to shoot on his right foot.
Well, I mean, I don't think anyone in the stadium did. Everyone, when he cut inside, it was like, you're looking at it thinking, your right foot. And then he just hit it perfect.
Yeah. I'll ask you a question here. Vincent Kompany scoring a 30-yard screamer from outside the box, is that more or less likely than Mahrez taking a shot and scoring from 20 yards with his right foot?
You'd have to say Vinny, because Mahrez at least gets, I don't know, whenever he plays, he normally has about at least 4 or 5 shots. Yeah. They're rarely on target. They normally hit the first man, but at least you've got to be in it to win it. So,
exactly. It was a cracking goal.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And it was struck with that much venom. The keeper got a decent hand on it.
Yeah.
Just couldn't stop it. The power was just too much.
I know.
That was the point in the stadium where everyone just, that whole tension, if there was any tension, that just finished then. Everyone was started singing Champion. It was just, everyone knew that was it. We were not going to lose this game.
Exactly, mate. It was like a carnival atmosphere then. A lot of singing and dancing. I mean, I was, I think you caught me dancing on one of the tables. It's a long way down for all guys to fall from there. But it was a lot of fun, a lot of hugs and kisses and Julie, we got a 4th. I mean, I think at halftime when we did a vlog, I'd said 5-1, but we got a 4th one with Gundogan, a cracking free kick.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was a great run. I mean, what happened was Sterling was starting towards the end of the first half, and then when they switched sides, and in the second half in particular, Sterling was playing on the left and doing what he's done all season, driving inside, and not just inside into the box, but across the box. And he made one of his usual brilliant runs, beat a couple of players just with pure pace and trickery. They took him down. Ball gets put down. You're thinking, where's Leroy Sané? This is where you want Leroy. This is perfect Leroy Sané territory. David Silva is there. Gundogan's there. And I personally thought, because of its positioning, David Silva's going to take this off.
Similar from earlier in the season. Early in the season, left foot curling in the corner. There.
And I thought it's got to be a David Silva from that, because it was just slightly looking at the goal, slightly to the left. So I thought it's got to be David Silva from here. Gundogan steps up with a little sort of 3-pace run up and hits an absolutely perfect ball that goes over the top of the wall, bends in, keeper, absolutely no chance. And again, the Etihad just goes absolutely mental. What were your thoughts on Gundogan? Just while we're on him,
He had a good game, mate. It was a great goal, and it's not just this game. He's been playing well. I would suggest for really well, not just well, really well for 6 months. He was playing well when he played instead of Fernandinho, when Fernandinho was, I think, suspended. He was playing well when Fernandinho was injured. He stepped in. It's a slightly different role to Fernandinho because he's not as defensive. But then again,
he's not as quick either.
Yeah, exactly. And he doesn't see the same things that Fernandinho sees. But going forwards, he's better than Fernandinho. He's a creator.
Yeah.
So you lose some of the defensiveness of Fernandinho, but you gain something in attack.
I agree.
So it really depends on who you're playing, because we've always said, give him space and time. He's a fantastic player. He showed it again. He played, I think, a pretty decent game. Once we'd got through that first 20 minutes or so, where we were, I think, generally everybody wasn't great. He had a very decent game, and obviously that goal topped it off. And it was a very good performance.
Well, if we just take a look at the match stats, well, Brighton had 24% possession, City 76. So it was just like, they had a go for the first 20 minutes and they got the goal. But after that, it was just back to typical sort of City domination. They had 6 shots. There was one in particular. I think it was a free kick. Ederson sort of palmed it onto the top of the net. City 20 shots. They had 2 on target. We had 9 on target. 2 corners to our 6. 12 fouls for them, 8 for us. So overall, absolutely wonderful performance. Obviously, that made us Premier League champions. But what I'd like to do is, before we sort of wrap up and talk about anything extra, just want to go through, because we sometimes say this and we forget to do it. So we're going to give sort of player ratings, because we have said it on previous videos, and then people said, I thought you were giving player ratings. It's like, yeah, sorry, we got wrapped up in other stuff. So we'll do that now before we talk about any other business. So, Ederson, 10. 10?
Everybody's getting 10.
No,
okay, let's be honest. I'll give Ederson a 7.
Yeah.
I think he got it wrong on the corner, whether it was his fault or not.
I think personally, I watched it back last night. I got home, I watched Match of the Day, I watched back the Sky stuff. I didn't get to bed till God knows what time this morning, because I was watching everything back again. And I honestly think he saw Murray darting next to Zinchenko, realised that Zinchenko was never going to beat him in the end, thought, I'll try and intervene here.
All right, I'll give him an 8 then.
Just made a mess of it, really.
Because I've not seen it again. I put Match of the Day on. The titles rolled and I fell asleep. And I woke up at the end of the game when they started talking about the game. So
that's all those chips you ate.
I'm not used to anybody at that stage. So I'll give him an 8. Give him an 8 because we won the game.
Well, I'll give him a 7. Walker.
Walker, can't remember him doing anything wrong. Give him an 8 as well.
That's a 7 from me. Laporte,
he scored a goal. My standard is 8 today. So he's going to get a 9 from me for that goal. Played well.
Okay, gets an 8 from me because of his goal. Vinny Company.
Vinny, leader, 9 from me.
Yeah, gets an 8 from me. Zinchenko,
I don't think he did much wrong. Couple of decent crosses, some nice interplay on the left, 7.5.
Yeah, I'll go with that because he didn't do that much wrong. He was sloppy in the first 20 minutes, like Walker was, but he put in that brilliant cross for Bernardo in the first half, that header.
Yeah,
Bernardo should have done better with it, if I'm honest. But so yeah, I'll go with 7.5.
Gundogan played well, made us tick, scored a great goal. Give him 9.
Gets a 9 from me. Bernardo Silver.
What can you say about the guy? Never stops running. Played well. Should have scored that goal, that header, I think. But I'll give him an 8.5.
Gets an 8.5 from me. David Silver.
David Silver, still class in my book. Not as effective, I think, this game. So I'll give him a 7.5.
Same for me. Riyad Mahrez.
Riyad Mahrez. Well, he's got an assist. He got a goal. He played better than normal. I'll give him an 8.5.
Same from me. We're agreeing on it this week.
Can't believe that.
Raheem Sterling.
Raheem Sterling. Yeah, better second half than first. I think he's not playing at the same level as he was a month ago for whatever reason. I'll give him a 7.5.
Same for me. Sergio Aguero.
Got to give him a 9. He scored that goal, to get us back into the game. He ran tirelessly, worked hard. Might be a bit generous, but hey, he's City's all-time leading scorer, so I'll give him a 9.
Yeah, it's an 8.5 from me. Looking at the subs, well, Kevin De Bruyne, Otamendi, and Danilo, they came on late. Kevin De Bruyne had sort of a 12-minute cameo. So normally, say if you don't play 20 minutes, we don't really give you
Not
a
going to rate anybody.
So you've got a couple of man of the matches on 9s. My man of the match was Gundogan on 9.
Yeah, I'll give him Gundogan.
So he was my man of the match for yesterday. I thought after we'd weathered that 20-minute spell, his passing was exceptional. Yeah. Scored a brilliant free kick and generally was very, very good. I don't think he hardly gave the ball away in the second half. So Gundogan for yesterday is my man of the match. But talking fine margins, could have given it to 2 or 3 players. Bernardo Silver, even though he didn't score, was exceptional. Aguero ran his socks off, like you said. So Mahrez, a great game. Say great game. He scored a great goal, got an assist, which is a corner, but still had one of his better games we've seen in City shirt. So hopefully that gives him the confidence. So I want to just very quickly talk about Mahrez. So what are your thoughts on him? What are your thoughts on him just in general? Because we're going to go do a player rundown for the season. We're going to do that on a separate video. But just basically, just a quick minute. So what are your real thoughts of Mahrez this season? I know people take the mickey and they turn around and go, "Oh, Andy hates." I don't hate Mahrez whatsoever. I just call the game as I see it. And if I think he's had a poor game, I'll say he's had a poor game. If I think he's had a great game, I'll say he's had a great game. I'm just, and people say, "Well, he scored 10 goals and got 10." Yeah, but against only a couple of oppositions has he scored 1 or 2 goals. The rest have been against, crappy oppositions. We've absolutely blown them away.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on Mahrez?
I'll try and do it in a minute. Massive anticipation when he arrived. We were doing videos last summer, eagerly awaiting his arrival, did the unveiling. We did 3 or 4 videos, really pleased we got him. We thought he'd add another dimension. I thought as well he'd push Sterling and Sane to improve more. And it certainly worked, I thought, at the start of the season.
Yeah.
I think he suffered by joining us a bit later than I think he could have done. He went on the tour America season, and he was on to.
Can you just say that again? You just broke up there.
So I think he suffered. Mahrez suffered from not having a proper pre-season with the lads. So he went off to America in the pre-season tournament, and mostly with kids. The only other senior player there was Leroy Sané.
Bernardo as well went.
Yeah, sorry. So we had a lot of kids there, and so he wasn't in the proper, in that first team squad training with all the first team players and through the pre-season. And I think he looked a bit nervous, because whereas he was top dog at Leicester and he can go around strutting his stuff, here he's one of many, and there's bigger personalities and better players than Mahrez at City, so he couldn't be that peacock, let's say. Yeah. So I think he struggled with that. He's getting some game time. You felt sometimes he tried too hard or to impress, or at other times he didn't take enough risks. He didn't, like Raheem Sterling, because Raheem Sterling started like a house on fire, and he was taking risks, taking chances, running up players, taking them on, creating havoc, scoring goals, assists. Sané was doing all right as well. And Mahrez, when he got his opportunities, wasn't taking them. And in this team, you've got to take them, you know. So I think he's suffered from that.
Leroy Sané is a prime example, you know.
Yeah, you don't do what Pep says or don't take your chance. There's other players, and that's why I said it pushed. I think Mahrez being there, it pushed Sterling to newer heights. Sané as well at the start, but Sané's had. We'll talk about Sané in another video, but he's had an up and down season, and whatever's bugging him is bugging him, and that's affected him, and that's given Mahrez a few more opportunities to play, but he's just not taken them. But like you said, Pep sees him in training. He's working hard. Apparently, he may have said something in January or February, which affected his possibility of playing league games. But Pep said he's staying. So I really hope that he gets a proper pre-season in with the lads, you know, a good 3 or 4 weeks of training with Pep. Because throughout the season, you're not really going through systems and stuff because most of that's already done. You were playing every 3 days. You haven't got time. To go into in-depth with formations and tactics and whatever. So I hope he gets a good run and he comes back next season and he gives this kind of performance every single game because that's what he needs to do to play in this team.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said there. I mean, I think the fact with as you said, he did look nervous. He looked really, you know, and then on occasions he looked like he was always trying to do something, but overcomplicating things. And in our system, it's not what we do. We play simple passes quickly and we move quickly. We play in triangles. And he was always cutting inside. Somebody like Bernardo or David Silva makes a run, and then he's trying to shoot, and he's hitting the first player. And you can almost feel come on, just play the ball into me.
I think you could see where his confidence was with that penalty against Liverpool. Yeah. Because that was a really poor penalty.
Yeah, I mean, it was awful.
Apparently it's still spinning around the earth now.
It was awful. And that would not have done his confidence. Because, you know, he seems like a guy who the players really like. You know, you see the videos, you see the behind the scenes stuff, and it looks like the players really like him and things like that. So I'm sure with the likes of Vinny Kompany and others and David Silva and Aguero and Raheem and everyone else will be doing everything to make him welcome and to be part of this group. So I think you're right. I think he probably needs to go away with the core of the main team in the summer. Have a few weeks away with them, bonding and, you know, just chilling out and relaxing and getting to know them properly and, you know, and that. And I think yesterday's game will be a big step forward for him. I think that goal and that assist, hopefully, he might be wrong. He might come back and be as frustrating next season. Yeah. We don't know. But hopefully that just gives him that little bit of kick on to say, look, you're part of this squad. Yeah. You know, you're part of back-to-back champions. You're one of us. Let's kick on, and we want to see more of that next season on a regular basis. Everyone can have a bad game, but you know, he was having too many sort of non-existent games where it was like, was he really on the pitch? You know, it's like, what's he done?
Well, like that in the league.
Sorry, you just again there.
Yeah. That Spurs game where we lost in the Champions League, I said he might as well be another defender because that was our tactic, was to defend. But yeah, look, I also think he's going to have to step up.
He's got to. Yeah.
I think he's going to step up another level because, you know, if we're going to get 3 or 4 players in this summer, we might get another attacking midfielder or someone who's versatile, can play as attacking midfielder or out wide, and like Bernardo can. You know? So
and that's the thing is that Bernardo is as good on the right-hand side as he is inside. So Mahrez is already fighting against Sterling. And you know that Pep will absolutely 100% trust in Bernardo Silva playing on the right side. You know he will. Because he's already said it himself. I trust him implicitly to play right or inside or wherever. Which means Mahrez has got to really step up. Now, he might have a potential opportunity on the left-hand side if he can improve. But I don't really think he's a winger. I really don't think it's not like a Leroy Sané winger.
Yeah.
And that's my only issue is that he's up against Sterling and Bernardo for that right-hand side position, and we prefer sort of Sterling on the right if possible, with Sane when he's in top form. But I just can't see him taking a left wing position, hugging the touchline like Sane does in this team. I just really can't see it. So it means moving Sterling over because he can play on the left, but then he's fighting against Bernardo Silver. And if you, like you said, you bring in Bruno Fernandes or Rodri, another player. Plus we've got Phil Foden coming back, and
Ben Mendy comes back,
and then Ben Mendy on the left, and it's like he's really going to have to step up. It's going to be a massive summer for him because, if he doesn't step up, it's going to be another frustrating season for him. He's going to be in and out of this team. He's going to be a squad player rather than a starter.
Exactly. He's going to be out in the wilderness if he doesn't step up, because we've got too many good players, and if we do keep the likes of Gundogan, David, KD, obviously KDB, and Foden's going to get more game time next season. He's definitely going to get it, and he's got to make that step up. Like we've said, if he doesn't, it's going to be a tough season, and it'll be a tough career for him at City.
I think it will. I think unless he pulls it out the bag next season, he'll be gone. I'll be honest with you. I think he needs a big season next season. He needs to take, even if he's a squad player, but he's doing it when he comes on.
Exactly.
Then I think that's perfectly fine, because we need that. I mean, I hear people say, "Oh, City have got a big squad." We've got the same squad size as everybody else. We've just got better quality. We can only have so many players in the Premier League. We can't have 50. We've all got a set number of squad players you can have. Just the quality is so much better, and that's what's got us over the line this season.
Yeah.
So
remember, we've done this season pretty much without KDB, without Mendy, and that Fernandinho for a large chunk.
4 months. I think 4 months. Fernandinho's been out. 5 months. Vincent Kompany's been out. Kevin De Bruyne has missed pretty much most of the season. Yeah. So has Mendy. 4 massive players. 4 massive players we've missed. That just shows you why the squad is so important. The likes of Gundogan has stepped up when Ferner's been out, and we've had Bernardo Silva go to an absolute. He's not stepped up one level, in my opinion. Sterling stepped up a couple of levels this season. I think Bernardo Silva stepped up 3 or 4. He's gone from here to, oh my God, what a player!
Well, I'll say it now. I mean, we'll probably discuss it in another video, but he's my player of the season for City.
Yeah, he's mine. He's mine without a shadow of a doubt. I was tossing up with Sterling a few weeks ago, but for me, Bernardo Silva for me.
Well, I think we said earlier in this, a few weeks ago as well, that Bernardo Silva was ahead easily till Christmas, well ahead, and then Sterling's goals and assists and general play got him very, very close, and then I think Bernardo's just stepped up again, whereas Sterling hasn't kept up that momentum.
Well, we'll talk about all those players
when
we do the final sort of end of season review. We'll probably do that after the FA Cup's complete, when the season's finished. We'll sit down, we'll do a proper player by player video, talking about each one. We might even do it rather than just one video going through all of them. We might just select the 14, 15 players and do quick 10 minutes on each particular player and put them out, couple every day or something like that, rather than just go, as one big massive. Just last thing, obviously back-to-back title winners, absolutely incredible. But Vinny Kompany interviewed again at the end of the trophy presentation. He was asked again about, are you going to be here? Yaya said he'll be here for 2 more years. Don't worry about it. He'll be here for 2 more years. He wasn't committed whatsoever. He basically said, I'm just absolutely desperate to win the FA Cup on Saturday. I'm absolutely desperate for it, and all the players are. So he wants that treble, but it was like, I don't know where it stands. I've got a feeling, listening to Pep, that City have offered him a contract. Maybe the contract's not the contract he wants, and maybe he wants a little bit longer. I don't know whether he wants 3 more years or what, and maybe City have offered him another year, and maybe he wants another 2 years. Well, I don't know. He said, look, these are my family. This club is my family, and as a family, we're going to sit down with my family and the City family and talk about it when the season's over.
The thing is, obviously, he's what, 32 years old? You know better. Yeah.
Oh, he's older than that, I think.
33?
30, nearly, yeah, 33, I think he is. 33?
So, you can check, but he's around that sort of age. This is his last big payday. As a manager, until you're a top manager, you don't get big paydays. You know, Pep certainly does, Mourinho and the others. But when Vinny starts on his career in management, he's not going to get paid like he is now. I mean, I think when Ferguson was at United,
he turned 33 last month.
So Ferguson, I think, was on 5 million when some of his players were on 7 or 8 million, or even 10 million a year.
Yeah.
So managers don't get paid as well. And there was talk of Vinny's company being offered a 12-month contract on reduced terms, reduced money. You know, instead of, for argument's sake, earning 200 grand a week, he's earning 100 grand a week. Now, for thee or me, but he's looking at it. The difference is from 5 million to 10 million, and you know that makes a huge difference over a couple of years. You know, if he's looking at his sorting out and his financial future for his family and for himself forever,
and for his charity work.
Yeah. So if he looks at it, and, you know, it's like he's going to be a bit part player at City, on 5 million a year, let's say, whereas he could go to somewhere like West Ham, even Arsenal, or abroad.
New York City FC.
Sorry?
New York City FC.
Well, I don't think he'd go. That's a drop down, but he could do that. Play a manager or play a coach or something. He could go to Italy or somewhere else and earn 200 grand a week. I think quite comfortably, even more, because he's out of contract. So no one's paying. He might go somewhere, a good club, and no one's paying 20, 30 million quid for the transfer fee. They might give him a hefty, like Aaron Ramsey getting 400 grand a week. Yeah. Someone could just say to him, I'll give you 400 grand a week. And at some point, no matter how much he loves City, you know, it's securing the financial stability for his family forever. And it's not just his family. You're right, his charity. It's not his immediate family. There'll be, you know, family back in Belgium, maybe some relatives back in, I think he was from Belgian Congo, wherever his family are. You know, you're securing, you know, for some places, it's not just you or your immediate family. It could be, you know, loads of people, extended family. So, you know, and he might just say, I'd rather play, for argument's sake, 30 games a season for West Ham on 200 grand a week than 12 games a season for City on 100. But look what he's just done. He's played this game against Brighton a week after he played a game, but he played about 5 games on the bounce.
Yeah.
And as I think Pep said earlier in the season, when he's fit, he's still one of the best.
Yeah.
But Vincent's problem over the last 4 or 5 years, his body has let him down. And if this was Ben Mendy, he'd have gone. But Vinny's got a lot of credit in the bank, so that's why he stayed.
My only concern is, and I get all that, but I'm being selfish as a City fan, is I look at it and I just think it's not necessarily. I mean, he's been amazing since he's come in this last 5-6 games. He has been incredible, and you always feel so safer when he's on the pitch. But his leadership, I don't think we've got another player yet. Maybe Kevin De Bruyne could step up and things like. I don't think we've got anyone else who is a proper leader. And we've seen teams when leaders have gone. You look at what happened with Arsenal.
Yeah.
You know, when Vieira and all of them, they went through a horrendous period when they had nobody that is a proper leader. When United lost the likes of Keane and big players.
Chelsea losing John Terry.
And Lampard, you know, when you lose, excuse me, when you lose those players, I don't think we've got anybody. As much as you can say Fernandinho's this and Kevin De Bruyne, they're not Vincent Kompany.
No.
Yeah, and there's nobody that is anywhere near close to Vincent Kompany from a leadership point of view and things like that. Because when he talks, everybody listens.
Yes.
And that's my only concern, that I think if I was Pep, I'd pay him whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Keep him around the club, even if he's happy to play 15, 20 games next season in all competitions. Keep him, give him the money, because for what it's worth, you've got that man mountain of a leader who knows the club inside out. It's our longest serving player. Yeah. He knows everybody. Everybody knows the standards that he sets himself, never mind what Pep sets. And I'd just say, give it him. Whatever he wants, give it him. And if it means a 3-year contract and the last year he don't hardly play whatsoever,
don't matter.
Give it him. Don't matter. Keep him here because he wants to stay. And I'm sure Pep wants him here. It's just whether they can both come together and agree on something.
There are certain things. Yeah, there are certain things when you look at it afterwards in hindsight and you think, should have done that, should have paid that little extra. I'll throw his name out there because it looks like he's leaving Chelsea. When we were in for Eden Hazard, now FFP stopped us getting him, basically, because if it wasn't for FFP, we'd have paid more money and got him. And I'm guessing if someone had said to you, Andy, if we'd paid Hazard 30 grand a week more, we'd have got him. Would you have wanted him?
At the time, when he went to Chelsea?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, that was it. In hindsight?
Oh, God. It'd be an absolute bargain of the century.
It's one of those things.
Yeah.
So you look at it afterwards and think, I wish I paid that little extra, or I wish I'd done, so I think, that's the issue. Like you just said, he is a leader. There's no one else like him. And if we let him go for the sake of, it's a hefty sum of money, 50 grand a week, we'll be kicking ourselves.
I mean, 50 grand a week's an academy player.
Yeah, we need. I think you're being a bit generous, but we need. I think Foden's only on 30 grand a week.
40 grand, I think, 40 grand a week. So, but I'm talking about even academy players are on 25,000 a week.
But my point is, give him the extra money and let somebody else get ready to take over that leadership. Get Kevin back in the team. Get him leading again, because Kevin is the nearest thing we've got. Laporte isn't. Laporte's just a bit moody for me. Stones isn't. They're a different kind of leader. I don't think anybody out there. I'm just trying to think who else we've got.
Well, I mean, you obviously these are David Silvers and things like that. But you want players that lead by example, that drag your team forward. And you've got your likes of Kevin De Bruyne that will literally take a game by the scruff of the neck and say, "Follow me. We're going to go and do this," and they will follow him. And
his standards are high.
It's rare. It's rare to get people. I mean, you only have to look. Company has now won 4 Premier League titles. There's only John Terry who's won 5 that got more. I think it's the same amount of Roy Keane on 4. So it's only John Terry who's won more Premier League titles as a captain than Vincent Kompany. So, we're coming to the end of this this video, but I just thought I wanted to hear what you thought. Man. For me,
I've always said that.
I'd give him whatever he wants to stay.
I've always said I want him to stay. I've always said I expect him to stay. I can't see him not being here next year. I just cannot see it. It might be, in all likelihood, David Silver will have his last season at City next year. In my opinion, in all likelihood, Sergio Aguero's got 2 more years, and I will.
And Fernandinho,
then Aguero, he'll be gone as well. So we're going to lose in the next 2 years. We're going to probably lose 4 immense players. And I wouldn't want to lose. I just want to lose them yet. I just want to hang on just a little bit longer.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that brings us to the end of our sort of video today. Summing up yesterday's game. I had a quick chat at the end there. We looked at the player ratings. We looked at the team lineups. We looked at the goals yesterday. We looked at performances. We also just did a quick sort of 20-minute chat on 2 players in particular, Riyad Mahrez and Vincent Kompany. Don't forget, what we're going to do is when the season is over, we're not doing it this week. We're waiting until the FA Cup is done and dusted, and let's, fingers crossed, hope we win that, and that'll give us a treble. Vinny says the players are all absolutely bang up for winning it. They're determined to win the treble. So that bodes well for Saturday. And then when the season is finished, what we'll do is we'll come back, we'll do a full player review video. We'll talk about each player individually, our own thoughts, give them a rating out of 10 for the season, and then maybe give them some thoughts on what we think they're going to be. Are they going to be here next season?
Yeah.
Are they going to be, how long do we think they're going to play on for, and blah, 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 blah. And we'll also do some transfer rumour videos, sort of looking at the real targets, you know, not just the rumour mill, but the real targets we think we need to pinpoint. Who are the best players we think, in our own humble opinion, who do we think we should be going for all out? So anyway,
Messi.
yeah. Anyway, I hope everybody enjoys the video. I hope you all had a wonderful day, whether you were at Brighton at the Amex, you lucky buggers. I hope you were celebrating late into the night, and everybody who went to the Etihad yesterday, I'm sure had a wonderful time. But anyway, don't forget, subscribe, click notification, give it a thumbs up if you like it. Don't forget, comment below the video. And one other thing, tomorrow, fingers crossed, I'm going to collect the artwork from Tackle for Manchester. So all the artwork has been signed. It's now being delivered back to the Tackle for Manchester charity. So hopefully I'm going tomorrow morning to go and collect the artwork. Wednesday, I think we're going to do some videos or something on the alien hats giveaway. Got 2 of those to give away. And then I'll also do some videos on the artwork that'll be up for auction. So, Ray, I'll speak to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Some more videos and things like that that we'll be putting out. But anyway, back-to-back Premier League champions.
Sounds nice.
Life doesn't get much better, does it? Except for maybe Saturday evening, when we can say we broke more records because we're now the first ever domestic treble winners, which would be amazing. But anyway, it's only from Fan TV. Thank you, Ray.
Cheers, mate. Take care, everyone.
We'll take care. Don't forget, subscribe, click notification, give it a like, and comment below the video. We'll see you soon.